You are listening to Fox Radio 910 and 104.3. I want to welcome you to Let's Talk About, our weekly radio program sponsored by Crowning Touch Senior Moving Services of Roanoke, Virginia. My name is Linda Balentine, the president of Crowning Touch and your host for this series. I interview local characters, service providers, politicians, teachers, entrepreneurs, and business professionals, and each one is dedicated to improving life in our valley. Every person has an interesting perspective to share from all walks of life. So, let's begin today's interview. Well, we're continuing our series on senior moving, and today we have Savanna Davis. And she is so special. First of all, she's my daughter, so I have to disclose that. But secondly, she has been with Crowning Touch as long as I've been with Crowning Touch. I think she was 10 years old when we started. And so there's a lot of history that she has, as well as a lot of expertise. She is currently our retail sales manager after having a career in nursing. And then and she came back to Crowning Touch, and she's been with us for years. But we're going to start with some of that history so that you can get a feel for all that Crowning Touch was and how it evolved. So, Savanna, do you want to kick off with what you remember about Crowning Touch in the old days when we were in a garage and are collecting packaging in a garage? And go ahead.
That's it. So it's been a wild ride. And it was very humble and simple beginnings. I remember being in a storage unit, essentially. I mean, it quite literally was a storage unit. I remember going in, and that's really where I decided that I love to organize. I love to decorate. I remember you saying, this is all the inventory. This is what we're going to sell. How are we going to do this? And I just started off doing like kind with like kind and not knowing anything at 10, or I could have been 13.
Oh, well, you were older than that. By the time we got into that storage unit, and by the way, that was at the corner of Elm and 581, and we had decided, the moving company had been going for a year or two, and we decided that we wanted to spread our wings and find a way to help our senior clients with the problems that they had getting rid of things, because most of our clients were downsizing.
Yeah.
So we held a sale once every 3 months, and we were just testing the water to see how viable the concept was. Could we go ahead, take their things, and split the profit with them and still make money?
Yeah.
So we collected those things. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you remember Pat Lindsay, but she was the person that I would call up. She worked at St. John's Church downtown. She was in their office, and she would take her lunch break, and I would meet her on the job. She would come and meet me. She would walk through the house with me, taking notes. We'd go sit in my car, and then she would tell me, because I had no experience. I didn't know how to do anything.
Sure.
And then she would tell me what things were worth and what I should offer them. So initially, we offered people cash. We don't buy the estates now for them. As a matter of fact, it's better for our clients that we don't, because we can share more of the revenue with them.
Correct.
If they go ahead and let us take the things and not pay them until we sell them. It's about so we give them 50 cents on the dollar. And the other way we operate, we give them 20 cents, 25 cents on the dollar. But anyway, so that's when you remember most your launch into the retail environment.
Yeah, I just remember loving every second of it. I remember really liking the idea of making something out of nothing. So you had all kinds of different eras and pieces that just, it was an eclectic collection that we had. And there's no real easy way to showcase an eclectic bunch of inventory.
That's right.
And so I think being able to do that and actually pulling it off was when I decided, hey, I can get into this. And that's when I really decided that I loved design, that I loved interior decorating, that I loved making something old look brand new and beautiful.
And that's your forte, because you have designer instincts that I don't have. Okay, I was really focused on the moving company. And when I knew right away that God had given you that gift, then that was and has been a blessing to us all the way along, because I didn't have that gift. And I could appreciate things of value.
Sure.
But in terms of arranging them and putting things together, including textiles. So we had china and furniture, textiles, art, jewelry, all sorts of home decor.
Yeah.
And we
everything.
And we still do today. As a matter of fact, now we have more than we even had then.
Correct. Now we've gone into the appliances as far as like washers and dryers and your lawnmowers and your weed eaters. I mean, just anything and everything that you can think of in a home that you're just quite literally not going to use when you downsize from your large estate to a small retirement home.
Well, that first episode that we had with the storage, it was really what they call a proof of concept.
Yes,
In other words, we were just testing the water. Once we did that, then we left downtown Roanoke, came on out here to Williamson Road, to our North County location, and bought a building.
Yeah.
And set up. And I remember then, part of what, this isn't just a white-collar job you have. This is very get your hands dirty.
100%.
And so you were with me, and I remember we would go out and we would pack up things, and we would use our Sundays to bring things into our current consignment location, take things out of the box, price them, and then you would, decorate and spread them around. And that was the beginning of our consignment shop. And then to review the history and take it another step further, several years later, we were able to buy the building next door and launch our auction house.
Yes.
So now we have 2 venues that you are in charge of.
And it's really fun because you've got, folks that are interested in the auction environment that we're able to invite them to once a month. And we sell, 70% of our inventory quickly for our customers. And sometimes they need to liquidate quickly in order to regain the out-of-pocket costs that they used for their move.
Right.
So it's a huge benefit and typically an option that we're able to provide for them. And then you've got your retail environment that things don't move as quickly. But if you've got higher end furniture or china or collector pieces, it's important to stand behind those prices and just keep them until they sell. And we provide that opportunity for a lot of our clients, where most folks that are doing consignment, they only allot for a particular amount of time before they start really depreciating the value. And if we can stand behind it, we will, and we'll hang on to it. We don't charge them for the floor space. We'll keep it until it sells. And that's a business model that not most consignment shops are able to, implement for their customers.
I don't even know of a consignment shop that doesn't have a contract that says, at the end
after
of
120 days, it's ours.
I think it's 90.
Yeah.
I think it's 90 days. So after 30 days, they'll take the price down.
Yeah.
After 60 days, they take it down again.
Yeah.
After 90 days,
it's theirs.
They gain control of that, and the consignor gets nothing. So we've never operated like that.
No, I've sold stuff 2 years, 3 years later, and people are getting checks and and still get their 50-50 split, and it's good money still.
Well, yeah, the bigger items we try not to hold on to all that.
Oh, of course.
But the neat thing is, if they don't sell, sometimes we'll take things into the consignment shop, right? And if it seems to linger there, we can go ahead and send it through the auction house.
Yes.
But we have a new avenue now. Tell us about Shopify.
So Shopify is a internet web-based platform that we are able to hopefully hit a different dynamic of folks. So you've got the West Coast that is ready to pay bigger money.
It's an audience beyond Roanoke. It's
Yes.
it's a national, and actually it's an international audience. It's just, and we will ship anything, anywhere, and you can buy it on Shopify.
Correct. So it's just another outlet. It's just another way to ante up for not just our customers that are buying, but also for our clients that are trying to sell. It just gives them another venue to showcase their pieces, and they truly appreciate that, being able to market their pieces of furniture or their possessions that they just have fallen in love with and would prefer that somebody really appreciated it. They've got just, not just the consignment shop and not just the auction house, but now we've got Shopify,
which is a 24/7 business model.
Yes.
And we put things on there that we think are going to have an appeal beyond Southwest Roanoke and easier to ship. For instance, we've got some great marble busts.
We do.
We have some a beautiful Eisendeck piece of art.
Correct.
We have special things that we'll cherry pick in the consignment shop, right? And put those things on Shopify.
Typically, the higher end retail pieces obviously are going to go on Shopify first and foremost. The dream is to be able to get everything up there.
That's
It
right.
has turned out to be a little bit of a tedious process.
Well,
but
it is, but we never give up.
no, we don't. And we're going to, we'll certainly rise to the occasion and get things going in the direction that we're able to showcase the whole entire consignment shop online. That's the dream. But for the most part, it really is the higher end pieces or the pieces that are sought after. Like right now, the flavor of design is mid-century modern. Millennials are out and about and they're shopping for their living rooms, dining rooms, and the 1950s vibe.
I'm glad they like it. I never liked it. I lived through it, and I didn't like it then. But I understand the
They're
clean
into
lines.
it. Oh, they absolutely love it.
I
So
get it.
those pieces are the pieces that you would see on Shopify as well. Just trying to hit that generation who's also shopping online. They're not going physically into stores. They just want it from the comfort of their own home.
Right. Gotcha.
Push a button.
That's right. What if somebody, obviously, what feeds our pipeline are the senior clients that are downsizing, so that it comes in on every moving truck.
Mhm.
I can't even think of a move that we've been on when we haven't picked up something.
There's always something.
There's always something, and sometimes there's a half a truckload or an entire truckload
Correct.
of things that we bring in and save and queue up for the next auction.
Mhm.
But at the same time, people ask, well, I have some stuff in my house that I want to get rid of, but I'm not moving, or I'm not moving for a couple of years. Can they call you and will we take their stuff?
Absolutely. So there is a online submission form that you're able to complete on our website. I will receive that email along with those pictures if you want to go through that process. Otherwise, if you do call in to our main lines, you will be directed to my personal cell phone and or given my personal email address. And then I'm able to speak with you and walk you through all the motions. It's a very easy process. The approval process is just as easy as taking pictures, sending them to me, and then I quite literally can tell you whether we can accept it into our inventory, what kind of revenue you're looking at, and if you need the resources for moving it out of your home to Crowning Touch, I can also give you an estimate for out-of-pocket costs.
So
At the end of the conversation, I'm able to give you two numbers. One is the out-of-pocket cost, and the other would be your estimated revenue. So you can really decide and make a good, educated decision on how to move forward.
So if they want to, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and share our website now. It's crowningtouchusa.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to send us some pictures, you can touch base automatically if you want to do it via phone by calling 540-982-5800. And our location is 6704 Williamson Road. And you can make an appointment with Savanna. We can also send an estimator out to your house. Savanna is more than happy to come visit with you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can get her on the phone and, like she said, send her a photo digital file, and she'll cruise right through it with you and tell you exactly what she can take and what she can't. But there are some conditions that determine the value of what they can expect to get. What are some of those?
Well, it's quite frankly fair market value. So we're in Roanoke, Virginia, and we are competing with Facebook Marketplace, who has, just kind of, it's morphed our retail environment. Mm-hmm. They don't have the overhead, and it's just an easy, way to get rid of pieces of furniture that are in folks' homes. So there really is, it's the retail market has certainly taken a little bit of a hit.
But how about the condition of the piece of furniture?
Oh, well,
that's what I mean.
Absolutely. Okay. So, I certainly don't want anything that's been chewed up by a dog.
Cat scratch? How about cat scratch?
Cat scratch is no good. If it's a hairy mess and you can't take a lint roller to it and get it off in one foul swoop, then we're in trouble. Veneer, pieces of veneer that are missing on tops of furniture.
Any decorative trim, right?
That's it.
Or weak legs, chairs with weak legs and backs.
If it's wobbly, that doesn't work. If I've got a recliner that only is in reclining position and doesn't go back to sitting position, no thank you. And there are all kinds of if there's scratches, really monumental scratches on the top where it's been gouged, chances are good we won't take that. Electronics, they have to be fully functioning. So, plug it in real quick, make sure that it works, and then we can stand behind it.
How about, but we will do, what if we have had people bring in really neat pieces of furniture or something very collectible that is damaged. We do offer a service. We will go ahead and repair, and in order to help restore a piece that is special and deserves to be restored.
Sure.
But we will then charge the client back. In other words, we'll go ahead and sell the piece, correct?
We will, and we'll take it out of the proceeds of the sale price once it's been sold. So it's not it doesn't come out of their pocket straight away.
Right.
We just, we just borrow against their proceeds, and we'll foot that money towards the repair.
And we'll do the same thing for a pickup and delivery. Some people live way out in Catawba, or they live way out in Newcastle. We have to go quite a distance. We might have to go to Blacksburg to pick something up. There is a fee for that.
There is.
But we will sometimes even do what's called take out of proceeds. In other words, we can go pick things up that are worth selling and not even charge the client at that time.
Correct.
But take it out of the proceeds. And they already know what to expect from that because you will have already shared that. So we're very transparent, and they can make a decision because they're going to have all of the information. Correct?
Sure. So, the pleasures of being a small company and not being a corporate company, we really can organically work with folks under all kinds of different circumstances. And because we are your 50-50 partner, we stand to lose and gain just like you do. So we're happy to accommodate you by waiving truck charge fees and giving you flat rate quotes instead of charging by the hour if it proves to be more cost efficient to do it that way.
Right. So
we are certainly, we're not trying to gouge anybody and naturally want you to come out positive as opposed to just breaking even or being in the red. And we'll be very forthcoming and honest. There is not one single person that I will steer in the wrong direction, even if it's not to do business with us.
That's correct.
We just are, our ministry is to work out all the kinks and help be a resource. And that comes first and foremost. So even if our services aren't utilized, we will certainly send you in the right direction, give you the right rules to follow in order to flawlessly execute your downsize.
As a matter of fact, what you do for people is actually very critical to our service menu overall. In other words, when Liz, our estimator, goes out to do a job and somebody is interested in moving, right away, the fact that you're right there behind Liz to help them move out of their house anything that they and the family doesn't want is critical to us getting the moves that we get. In other words, sometimes we're a great fit. The more things people have to get rid of, the better a fit we are.
Yes, correct. And they typically do much better as far as, revenue is concerned. The bigger the estate and the more the consignment items, obviously that helps pay for the move. But Liz is great, and she takes the time to do an accurate walkthrough that isn't generic pressing a tablet button and just pressing living room suit or bedroom suit. She literally goes in, she writes everything down that's in a room, and then she takes a picture of it.
Right.
So I'm able to see realistically what kind of condition that the piece is in, where it's at, where it's located, how long it's going to take for the movers to get those pieces out from that location to Crowning Touch. And, she just allows me, she creates a fantastic canvas for me to work off of. And we can give you we're pretty spot on.
You are. As a matter of fact, that is why there are an awful lot of moving companies now going with the current trend of giving you a quote over the phone without a visit. Or even more, they will let you do a walkthrough with almost like a FaceTime situation where, they'll let the customer walk through with a camera and everything. But things get forgotten that way.
Yeah.
People forget the outdoor furniture. They forget what's in the garage. They forget what's in the basement. They don't go in the attic because it's not lit up, and they can't move furniture around to see the back of something, which we can do. So sometimes, even after we've done the original estimate, the packers will go in to begin packing, and then they'll discover things either that because the initial, even Liz's initial walkthrough doesn't go through drawers and closets.
Correct.
So there are all sorts of treasures that the packers, which is the next level of penetration into somebody's house after the estimator.
Yeah.
And then they book with us. Then we send our packers, and they're women, and they're very well trained, and they've got a very, very good sense of what is valuable and what to look for.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, we're on the radio today, and Selena is sharing a story about how they found $10,000 in cash buried in all these purses and crevices of this woman's home that the son and family had no idea was there. So we find all those types of things, but we also find other treasures that then you can sell.
Sure.
That weren't even observed in the first pass.
Sure.
In the first filter. And then the movers.
Yeah.
When they get there, don't they do the same type of thing? Because
100%.
then they're moving a layer away that the packers couldn't even deal with.
Correct.
And then they find other treasures.
Right.
And then you're in communication. They'll call you from the job, won't they?
They send me text message pictures. I'm able to see in real time as they're going through a house. Hey, listen, I don't think this had a consignment sticker on it. We were supposed to pick this up. I don't think you want this. There's a big hole in the back, or some rat.
Nobody could see.
You wouldn't have known the difference.
Right.
It's just the level of continuity that we have at Crowning Touch is to be desired from all these other moving companies, because we're so tiny and we're such a small knit. We're a tight knit little community, and one can't do it without the other. And so we really are counting on each other to fill in all the blanks. But where I am weak, somebody else is strong. And when they are weak, I am strong. And it's a very,
we have each other's back.
It's a perfect relationship.
It
really is. In all different, aspects of the company, for sure.
Well, then let me ask you this, that every once in a while, we will come up onto a situation, and the client has something that we won't sell, but they've got to get it out of the house.
Sure.
So what do you do?
Well, there's a couple of different avenues that we could use. If they're in Roanoke City or in Roanoke County, there's certain trash pickup days that we can take the items for them out of the house. Naturally, if you're closing and it needs to be emptied, there's no wiggle room against that. So the movers will take it out and they'll put it on curbside for trash pickup.
And that's basically a 4 by 8 foot size pile. So there are restrictions there. But what if they have more than that?
Then we're happy to load it up on our moving truck, and then we'll dispose of it for them, either to the landfill or in our own personal dumpsters, depending upon the size and the pieces of the trash.
Yeah, we can bring a dumpster to their house.
Absolutely.
And then we put the nice stuff on our truck and bring it back to you.
Yeah.
Or, if there's not enough for a dumpster at their house, we'll bring it back to Crowning Touch, and we have a dumpster back behind. And so all of that is, but we're continually looking at things all the time. But let's talk about donations. There's some things that will be good for somebody who is in need, but there is no resale value for that item. Is that correct? Like maybe faded pieces of furniture or
correct, or just outdated.
Stuff.
The oversized couches and the maybe the dated upholstered chair that's striped and your mauve and your light blue and just the outdated colors and upholstery. We're happy to take things to Goodwill, Salvation Army. We've donated to TAP. We furnished a house for the battered women's shelter.
We get calls from churches.
We do.
We donate all the time.
Oh, folks have lost their homes and fires and we've certainly been able to help them refurnish their home when they didn't have anything.
As a matter of
fact,
from
the pieces that have been donated.
If anybody is listening, as we move forward in 2025, if somebody ever has a situation that they may know of where somebody is in need. And we get lots of things. We get all sorts of things for the kitchen.
Your pots and pans, your Tupperware, utensils, kitchen utensils, things that you absolutely, if you've got 2 children and you're a single mother and you're completely homeless, we'll take care of you. In fact, our Christmas story, the year before last,
just
last Christmas, we took care of a mother that was in a desperate situation, and she had three young children. She was by herself, and she was living in a motel, and she was making all the right moves to get her affairs in order, but still needed a little bit of help, and just a minor shift helps folks survive something that otherwise they might have felt defeated and would stop.
We furnished her whole house. We furnished a 3-bedroom house for her, complete with living room and kitchen and everything she needed.
And then bought Christmas presents for the kids. Right.
And then a washer and dryer. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to make a difference in our community, and we're at a level where we really understand and see what a difference we can make because we have the provisions that are.
That's it. If we're in the know and we know that somebody is in need of a particular item, I'm the first one on scene, and so is Liz. So if we've got that information, we're happy to keep that in the back of our minds, and then also, tell to folks, hey, listen, I can't sell this, but I do have a family member, or another client that could benefit from this. If you'd like to donate it, we'll take it off your hands and give it to them. So we definitely are the ones to. We're out in the battlefield. We can find those pieces for anybody.
Well, for someone who's been out in the battlefield as long as you don't look battle worn, Savanna. You look like you're still really ready to take charge every day that you come to work, and that's with a young baby yourself.
Yeah, the big 4-0 is coming right around the corner. Right. In March. Here I come.
Well, you might be coming on 40, but I was 48 when I started this company.
Yeah.
So it just puts it in perspective. You've got a lot of life left, tread left on you.
Oh yeah, yet. I think so. I'm ready for living in your shadow, there's not much that I can, I can't say, I wouldn't be up for the challenge.
Well, it's really, really been fun working with you because, first of all, you're so accomplished, and it's a real treasure for me as a mom to be working with my daughter, who will continue to work here, after I'm gone, and continue to lead out and do such a great job. What cheers me up the most is when people call and they talk about is that your daughter? What a great person she is.
That's all lies.
I know, and so that's a real blessing. It's a real blessing. Well, thank you for being here today and sharing with us. And we love you like we love every single person who works at Crowning Touch. Thank you for your contribution.
Absolutely.
All right, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Let's Talk About, courtesy of Crowning Touch Senior Moving Services of Roanoke, Virginia, the only moving company with a consignment shop, auction house, and real estate division. We are a one-stop shop for any senior making a move. Check out our website at crowningtouchusa.com. Or if you are planning a move, call Anna at 540-982-5800 to arrange a free estimate. And don't forget to check out our monthly browse and bid auctions at 6712 Williamson Road in Roanoke, where you can bid online on over 1,800 items each month. Meanwhile, let's get back together next Friday at noon for more of Let's Talk About on Fox 910 and 104.3.